Assuming there's money, the most important point then becomes the university. So here, I will ask Dr. Kitano a question. Can OIST respond to the expectations of businesses? I'm a PI here, and it's not that I'm here 100% of the time. I split my time between Tokyo and Okinawa. Half the time I'm traveling around the world, and the other half I travel between Tokyo and Okinawa. So I am a scientist, but if you look at the second line here, I'm also the director of Sony Computer Science Laboratories. So through my role in this position, I'm actually very aware of what large international businesses are thinking. And Systems Biology Institute, which is also shown here, this is a private research institute for conducting basic research that I established around 10 years ago. I want to build this up like the Salk Institute or the Scripps Institute in the future. And finally, we have Kuzit, which is an IT venture I established 3 years ago. So by chance, I have experience in academia, in international business, in running an MPO basic research lab, and startups. And although it's not written here, I've actually personally invested in several companies, so I'm also an investor. University research is seeds-oriented in many cases. A researcher will research many things and then will hope that some application of the research will emerge. On the other hand, companies have to provide some sort of value to consumers. So in this case, technology is merely an option, among other things. So how can we bridge the gap between these two? That becomes an extremely important point when forming a research and development cluster. With regards to what OIST can provide, and there's actually many things, but there's three that come to mind right away. The first is science and technology and providing top-level research. And OIST can also be used as an experimental test bed. For example, in energy experiment demonstration, or there's actually many other kinds of experiments that can be conducted as well. And of course, here at OIST, there will be development of high-level researchers, students, and engineers. So OIST can definitely provide human resources as well. And OIST can do these things, and we need to build OIST in a way that it's able to do these things. And these will become the basis of an R&D cluster ecology. And current OIST research areas include neuroscience, marine biology, and system biology, and these can become the core areas, but in the future I believe that there's also a need to continually generate new areas of research. Talking abstractly, I won't be able to use images. I have an open biology unit here, so I'd like to give a specific example of what I can do here that will help demonstrate what I'm talking about. I'm thinking of making OIST an international hub of research. SBI on the top left is the nonprofit Systems Biology Institute that I founded 10 years ago in Tokyo. In this research lab, we have people from India, Japan, Korea, and Brazil, so it's a very international research lab. And SBI and OIST are collaborating in many ways. And JSPS at the bottom here is the national project. It's the High Definition Physiology Project. Osaka University and OIST are the core research facilities on this project. And then there is an alliance on the top right here for the drug discovery software that I newly created, which includes OIST, SBI, Tokyo University, EMBL, and Manchester, among around 20 research institutes worldwide. And next month I'm going to go to Singapore and discuss Singaporean participation. And Saudi Arabia and Abu Dhabi are also showing interest in this project. So one of my agendas is actually to make a series of spin-off companies from this. For example, in the health industry, for something like drug discovery, and you may say, well, OIST hasn't done this drug discovery yet. But even if OIST hasn't done it yet, SBI, my company in Tokyo, has several drugs already in the clinical phase listed up here on the slide. So the know-how that is generated is something that I would like to bring back with me to my unit at OIST. And in Tokyo, the focus is on infectious diseases and oncology, but at OIST, we can collaborate with the government to do cardiovascular drug discovery projects. For example, on this project, when a human being takes this medicine, we can examine how it circulates and what kind of effect this has on the heart. For example, you take medicine, we look at how it circulates through the body and see how it affects the muscles of the heart and how the heart functions after that. And that can be one series of software and experiments. In the end, we can develop, for example, medicine that prevents ventricular fibrillation or prevent unwanted side effects from occurring. And this is a national project, and one of the key institutes is OIST, and the other is Osaka University. And because I had planned this project for a number of years, Nature published it. So we can do these sorts of things, but we can also do energy experiments at OIST. We're about to build something called the village zone, and we're going to make it carbon neutral. And that's something that we can do because we are designing it right now. In this way, we can have new innovative visions here and create an alliance between OIST and industry and use OIST as a test bed. And we can make all sorts of spin-offs here, but the problem is, for example, here you see there's an open energy system that I've been thinking about for a while, and I want to turn it into a vision, but there's many competitors. If we just think about energy, Abu Dhabi's Masdar project and the Tianjin Eco-City project, which is a huge project that China and Singapore are collaborating on. And there's other projects in Silicon Valley, for example. But the point is that even if you have a new hot idea, Okinawa has to be able to win this competition. For example, if you're creating a venture spin-out, we need a reason for choosing Okinawa. Why not Abu Dhabi? Why not Tianjin? Why not Silicon Valley? Why do we choose Okinawa? We need to figure out how to answer this question. OIST is a very good location for research and has the human resources, but we absolutely must have a local incentive package. Besides energy, for example, like a farmer, Silicon Valley, Boston, Seattle, San Diego, Shanghai, Beijing, Tianjin, Singapore, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Tokyo, Kobe, Osaka, and Kyoto, Barcelona, and many other places will do their best to try to attract it. Okinawa must build a package that can beat out these competitors. OIST can be a part of that package, but we cannot win this competition with just OIST. Thus, collaboration becomes necessary. And just as I introduced earlier in a few of the programs, there are projects where basic research and practical applications are operating together. And I think that by increasing the number of these projects, we can perhaps create something new. Thank you. It seems that there are some very promising projects at OIST. And also I can see that you spoke from the standpoint of an OIST PI to ask for everyone's cooperation. There are many times when the university alone cannot succeed, and there's times when the region by itself cannot succeed. I believe that it's up to how much collaboration exists and how that's translated into